see. I need to put these up. Good morning. Just doing a little cleaning at my table to start today. I know there might not be a lot of people on because it's Memorial Day. There's a lot of different ways people honor today. I want to say thank you for anyone that has passed away for while in service. It's a tremendous honor to do that, and a blessing that somebody's willing to do that for their country. Good morning, Leslie. Puppy 1 and Puppy 2 are up there moving. All right, so today I did not do hardly anything yesterday at all. I wasn't feeling the best. I had like a headache and I just was feeling exhausted. So I pretty much did nothing except play video games on my phone and listen to audibles. Wasn't my finest moment, but it is, if I feel a little bit more refreshed today. So my plan is to correct a mistake I made on a wallet. So I need to remove all the rivets and re-rivet it back on. And then I'm going to sew up a few Rosie wallets, and I'm going to do a tutorial. This tutorial is going to be a little bit more intensive than just making the wallet, because I think the wallet itself, by even looking at the pictures, it comes together really easily. But I want to also help focus on edge painting, because the particular different styles of this wallet, there's like one that has scallops, one that has like a deep curve. Good morning. And I just want to be able to show how I do that. My only interesting problem is that the Gardini base dense paint I have is super clumpy. So yesterday I was trying to figure out what can I do in lieu of that, if I can use a different product that can hold up. So I'm looking into that today to see what I can do, because it is super, super lumpy. And no matter how much I shake it, it's like there is like the glue separated for some liquid. And I don't think there's, good morning, I don't think there's any coming back from that. So I'm really excited to try to get Mojo Sews dense paint, because this is not the first time that's happened to me with the Gardini. I never had the issue with any of the color. It's always the dense paint. It could be where I live, because my contact cement dries up no matter how many times I like seal it right, put it in a dark space, whatever. So it might be something to do with Maryland and the humidity. I'm not too sure. The thing is I bought that less than 9 months ago. So they usually expire within a year of purchasing it. I don't know. I went to go look at my Emmeline bag, and I bought it like October of 2022 because I needed some. And so I'm a little bummed, but it is what it is. It's not their fault. It could just, again, I think it's like where I live. I have like issues with paint, like pens and certain glues. They dry out extremely fast. It could be the humidity, or there's too much moisture in the air, or when there isn't enough moisture in the air, it's acting a donkey. There's no expiration warning on the bottle, so I'm not too sure. So it could be just, again, I think it's like Tandy leather pens, the silver pens. They don't last even a month where I live. Like, I wind up just tossing them. I really think it has a lot to do with the humidity out here, especially I notice these problems in winter where there's not as much humidity, and when we're about to go into summer. Something about summer and some things out here. But the thing is all the Gardini paints, I have some Gardini paints that are like 3 years old, and there's no clumps, nothing, and they're absolutely perfect. It's the dense paint, and it's the same thing. I like using contact cement when I'm making bags versus double-sided tape. The fumes are very, very, very strong, but I like how it's kind of like Velcro. You can take apart 2 parts and put it back together, because the way contact cement works is exactly in its main name. So if I have two pieces of fabric and I put contact cement on the same on each side, when I put them together, it's like a Legos kind of Velcro thing, and you can keep repositioning it, but it'll stay. Like so, there's no shifting when you're sewing or whatever. But contact cement only lasts maybe a month in my house before it like solidifies. Good morning. So yeah, there's that. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's not make it difficult. So yeah, today I am just going to do that project. I'm going to do a project with some HTV, and I'm actually really excited about this because I had this idea with cheetah print, leopard print, uh, Star Wars symbols, and I'm going to cut them out and show a small tutorial on that. So I'm really excited. Like I think this week you guys are going to be surprised about how much content you get. There's a lot of things going to be coming out this week. I'm really excited about it all. Good morning. Yeah, I can't believe today's Sunday. But thank goodness we have Monday off. It's going to be, I can get a little bit more work done, and then I don't know. It's been a good weekend so far. I'm tired. So I'm trying to do this smaller project, get on the ball, then film it. And the way I'm going to film the edge painting, if I can do another base. So one time when I ran out of base coat, I used Gorilla Glue, not just any Gorilla Glue, not the clear one that you see in the commercials. This is the one that dries a little bit slower and it looks like paste, like a very thick like spackle. I've used that as the base for painting like so many times, and nothing, it never budges or anything because it's Gorilla Glue. So if worst case comes to worst, I'll just use that. I think I have one more dense paint that I bought this year. I just need to remember where I put it when I moved everything around in my room. And if all else fails, my Joann's carries Gardini. I don't know. I thought it was weird when I seen it. I was like, okay, so I can go there if worst case scenario. That staple did not go through. Is anyone buying anything this weekend? I know that there's like a bazillion sales going on. I have like so many promotional things in my inbox right now. I was thinking, I know Joann's has a discount right now on interfacing, plus I think an additional 20%. Mod Podge can work. In some instances, I don't 100% trust Mod Podge. I have projects that I've done with it, and like 6 months later, the pieces are coming apart. It's just it's very weird. There are leather glues. You can use leather glues. I have a couple of those, and you can use those as base paints because it is a permanent solution. So I don't know. I have a couple of different solutions. I'm hoping that I could work one out. Like I said, worst case scenario, using Gorilla Glue on the outside, just waiting for it to dry, sanding it down, and then I could go and show how I do the edge painting. But I know I have another one. I looked at my what I do is, like, if you have an account with MLN, you can go back to see what you purchased or what you didn't purchase, and go from there. I know I bought one in January or February, so I'm hoping I could just locate it, and then I should be okay. Good morning. So yeah, that is my plan today, is do that, locate the other thing, clean up a little bit, refix the wallet that I'm supposed to make, and start making the wallet that I need to, and cut out what I need for tomorrow, so that way I could film tomorrow, and then cut out what I need for Tuesday so I could film and get things done for Tuesday. So yeah, that's all. My plan today is to film today, film tomorrow, film on Tuesday, because Thursday I'm going to wind up packing. I take that back. Kendall's going to wind up packing for me. And I just realized when he got the ticket to go to North Carolina, I thought I was flying out of BWI. BWI is roughly like 25 minutes away from my house. No. He got it going to DC. DC is about 45 minutes away from my house. So that means I have to wake up even earlier on Friday. And I'm hoping that I need to figure out what time my flight takes off, because I don't know if it's going to be a scenario where all the kids and the dog need to be in the car because the kids have to go to school immediately after. I'm not too sure. I know at the right now the edge paint, the water formula part is separate. It's separated. They look think of it as flour. So there's little glue lump balls, right? And it's separated completely from the water. If you were to get a spoon or a slotted spoon out, you can see, you can like literally pull it out and the water is underneath. I think it just has something to do with humidity in Maryland. I'll test more theories. I'll try to see if I can get Gardini on sale again. I'll try to test it and show you. It's a very, very interesting thing. It's something I also noticed with Tandy pens. A lot of people ask me why have I stopped using Tandy pens as much in videos and I use chalk pencils or chalk mechanical pencils. It's for that reason. Tandy pens dry out for some odd reason extremely fast where I live. And it could be I'm in the basement. It could be so many different factors, but yeah, that's why I use chalk pens and pencils. I also need to order from Joann's because I need to order some faux leather for my my WandaVision outfit. So what I'm hoping is that after I come back from North Carolina that week before AwesomeCon, I can show you prepping. Like so I can show you how I bag and tag everything or give you some examples and how I like do like a kind of a quality control. I make Kindle look over a bag to make sure every pocket's in, there's no threads, there's no like lints or whatever. And then I do it, then we wrap it up and we put it in there. And then we give it a tag and I write everything down on a list. I used to have it on my phone, but then it's easier for me to actually write it down and flip through paper and mark off which one's first because when I'm at the convention, that's selling bags is just not the part of it. I write down what bags sell the first, what bags do people touch the first and gravitate to, so that way I have a better understanding what my market is in person versus online. Online, I know what my market is. In person, it varies. Because I'll make a bag that I'm like, nobody's gonna like this bag, nobody's gonna want it. Like my first one perfect example is last year. I made this really pretty Alpa bag from last Airbender, and it's all purple. And Yip Yip, I call that was the name of the bag. Yip Yip is in a cloud, and I was like, nobody's gonna want the bag, and that was like the first bag that sold. So I try to figure that out. I do so. That's part of my not this week, but next week's. As then I go into I always make one bag that is my like this bag's gonna cost a lot of money bag that I spend like 2 days on, and I feel like that's gonna be a hitchhiker because hitchhikers do generally well for me. Um, so I'm probably gonna do a hitchhiker. I just haven't figured out which one. There's a part of me that wants to do a Princess Leia hitchhiker, and then there's my tried and true Harry Potter trunk hitchhiker. So that's what I'm planning on doing. And all that week, I'm putting together my costume. So when we have our morning captain's log, I will show you what I'm doing with each part of the costume, and I want to just so you can see that some of the garment style, you know what I mean, like how I do things with garments. So that will be not this week, but following week, and then Thursday I pack everything up, and that Friday we go to AwesomeCon. We have to be there before noon, and it should be fun. And I'm really grateful that I have a hotel that is like 1 block away. So we can just like, when we close up for the night, we can go 1 block away and order our DoorDash or whatever. Like that, the girls like going because we normally cook in food all the time, but there's just no way in AwesomeCon, like there's no way. So we usually eat like a really good breakfast at like whatever's local, like a Starbucks or some kind of coffee thing. We'll have snacks throughout the day. And then we'll have a massive dinner. And every time they eat dinner, they fall asleep immediately after. Like Faith fell asleep while she was drinking a milkshake last year. Like honestly, it's very it's you put a lot into it. It's more mentally exhausting than anything because you're stimulated by other people that are into the same kind of different fandoms as you. People are excited about the actors that are going to be there, so they're telling you the stories when they met, showing you the pictures, and it's like nonstop talking, nonstop smiling and interacting. So when you stop, you just, you just, pass out. Oh yes, I did see Handmade Space has 20% off for Memorial Day weekend. I wanted to get from there too. I'm with you. I'm trying to use up my stash. I did get one thing, but it wasn't on sale. So I've been like searching up different places that have different advent calendars. So when July 1st comes, I can present you with all these different options and you can see what's best for you. Like there are some people right now that I found that they have like an advent calendar that's going to be like $60, but they're very small notions and like little surprises here and there, like fat quarters and stuff like that. So I'm trying to figure out things all budget friendly. So one of my friends was like, "Oh, did you look at the Missouri Star?" So I'm on their website. I always go on different websites to look at scissors, rotaries, and notions, and definitely marking tools. These are my Achilles. I will buy these things over fabric because I know that one, I have a lot of fabric. Two, I'm always looking for like the best marking tool, the best pair of scissors, the best rotaries, right? So I'm like going through it and I just hit sling just to see, because when you look at companies like Missouri Star, Connecting Threads, and even though they have a brick and mortar and they are big in the quilting thing, they don't generally carry, they don't have PDF patterns on their website. They have paper patterns. I'm intrigued with paper patterns. I have tons of them. I don't know why I like them. It makes me feel like I'm collecting a baseball card, I guess. Like, yes, I'm one of the few that has this. So I wonder, and I stumbled upon a 2023 pattern from Sally Tomatoes that is not sold on Sally Tomatoes' website as a PDF or a paper pattern. It's exclusively Missouri Stars, and it's a sling backpack. You bet your bottom dollar I bought that. I was like, okay, let me get one marking pen. And I checked out. There was no coupons, no nothing, but I've never seen an exclusive Sally Tomatoes pattern that was not a part of Sally Tomatoes. It was written for Missouri Star. So I did get that yesterday. And I was bad that I didn't have a coupon, but it is what it is. I was more intrigued with the fact that there was an exclusive pattern. Um, I I don't know why. I'm one of those suckers. I no, I found highlighter. I have not found my seafoam green yet. Yes, every Awesome Con I build a new apron that I do as a cosplay. I have a lot of aprons. I have a Minecraft apron. I have a the 11th the 10th Doctor from Doctor Who. I'm Matt Smith. Woo. Okay. From Doctor Who, and I have Cruella de Vil, the military one. Every year I make a new apron that it's like it looks like a full-fledged costume, but it's an apron in the back. I do this because when I get to the hotel, I don't want to take off layers and layers of stuff. I can just untie it and pack it up. So this year I'm going to be Wanda. I've been wanting to do her for a long time. I bought the headgear. I have the book. I have power balls, and I'm ready to cosplay as her. I think I might even spray my hair up like a burgundy red or a strawberry blonde, so that way I can tie in the look. Because I usually, like when I did Cruella de Vil, I parted my curls down the middle. Once I was pitch white, like pitch black, the other one was Snow White. So I really get into it. I have fun. I had like this really cool red lipstick too. So I try to do every year something different. I wanted to do Princess Leia, but I have all the metal pieces, but I just don't have the time to. My idea for the belt alone is probably going to take me 2 to 3 days. So I'm doing Wanda, and I have the EV foam I'm needing to make her breastplate in the front. I finally found some faux leather that is garment leather that I can use for it. So I'm going to do Wanda, and I'm pretty excited about it. My help, like my mask, my headpiece, it glows red. It's pretty cool. It's really, really cool. I went to this guy that does he does props, and he made it for me, and I am so excited to wear that. Um, I'm not gonna do a whole full video. It'll be like probably a short, because when I'm bagging and tagging, there's just, unless someone has the camera on me, I just stop and be like, this is this bag, this is this bag. I'll probably show you an example of one bag and that's it. Um, because I'm going through probably 75 to 100 bags, and just there's no way. I'm not the best editor, and there's just no way. Um, and then live will be incredibly difficult because during that time Kindle's going to be working, and then on Thursday night it's like crunch hour. Wednesday night and Thursday night are like crunch hour to get everything packed up. And we were supposed to go through some of the bags this weekend, but I don't know if we're going to be able to have the time. So yeah, then we just tag everything, and then we pack everything up, and just do like normal stuff, like print out the liability insurance that you need for the con. I have to go to the bank to go get money, because most people do it by credit card, but there are very few people that do buy stuff with cash. So it's good to have your cash drawer with you. I have to update everything on Square. There's so many things on checklists. Make sure all my passwords are secure for Square. I got to make sure that my hotspot is available, because sometimes the internet is really spotty at AwesomeCon unless you bought internet through AwesomeCon, and I don't. I use my hotspot and it works just fine. Um, there's so many things to do with it. I feel like a lot of people think you just put some bags in a bin and then you go to the thing. It's not like, it's how you set up your table, all the cages, all that great fun stuff, and then getting to know your neighbors, because having great neighbors can make the experience at AwesomeCon amazing. Having really bad neighbors can make you miserable for those 3 days. Yes, I'm going to be doing a HTV showing you how I put it onto cork and what the supplies I use and what can help you, like a few couple notions that can help you with getting things into the right position. So I will be having that video. I should be making that video tomorrow. I'm not, it's again, it's not going to be like how to cut HTV. It's going to be like how to adhere it, and why I like using it now, and what tools and supplies I use to do it. So the way it's going to go, I'm going to show you how to, I'm going to show you the HTV. I'm going to place it, and I'm going to show you how I mark things to where it is, what products I use to tape it down so nothing shifts, um, and how to follow your HTV instructions. There's either a cool pill or a hot pill, and that makes a lot of difference. I've seen people saying that their HTV lifted, and it could have been a cool pill, and you need to wait until the piece completely cools down before pulling back the film, or if it's a hot pill, that you need to pill it as soon as you take it off the press, so that way it can settle in, and then sealing it. So I will be showing that. I think I'm going to be showing it on cork. I use HTV on cork and water resistant canvas. I am really reluctant to use it on vinyl. Um, just like I won't use sublimation on vinyl. I have used sublimation on cork. One of my major goals uh for AwesomeCon is that when I sell enough to get a sublimation, I want to start like just printing different things so I could put it on cork or waterproof, water resistant canvas, because I absolutely love that HTV I put on for the messenger bag for Star Wars. If you really think about it, I got that water resistant canvas, 1 yard, from Fabric Wholesale Direct. What? It's under $8, and that bag looks like it's worth $200 easy off of one product. So I'm really intrigued. And like I said, I've seen so many creations. She created a sublimation of a wolf on cork in different colors, and I was like, mind blown, because I have so many ideas, and sometimes you can't find fabric for it, but you can have an idea. Like I have an idea with cheetah print hope symbol from Star Wars. I think it would be the cutest thing. You're still like playing homage to your nerdy side, but you could play homage to your sassy side. Um, and I'm going to think of making an Ojima off of it. So that's what I plan on filming tomorrow. And that one's going to be interesting too, because a 10-minute video may take 10 hours to make. And a case in point for this is that Sarah Lawson said in the beginning of this year, when she was doing the minikins, it takes her 3 to 4 days to film one video. it takes so much time. Like, just like I was devastated when the first Zippy bag came out and the other angle wasn't there. Although the video looks like it's 1 hour for you, it takes hours to set up. It takes hours to find the right positioning and putting lighting. It takes a lot of time. Some people are able to do it effortlessly. I'm not one of those people. It takes me a long time to get a position that I somewhat like. Um, and so for the HTV one, it's going to be me showing you what buttons I use, how you can, what products I use and why, and then actually using it, giving you a demonstration. I want to give you a demonstration how long it takes to for this press to heat up and what I need it, and go over cold press and hot press, and then show you what it looks like on the bag, and then cut out and make the bag and show you the final piece of work. So it may be a 10-minute video, but it may take me 10 hours to make. So there's that. But I'm actually really excited because I think this is something that is important right now. I talk to one of my besties about it all the time. I'm noticing more and more fabric groups, fandom fabric groups, are leaving. And I think it's because the algorithm on Facebook is not the best for small businesses at this time. Two, I think they're not getting the same kind of revenue they got 4 or 5 years ago. A lot more people are finding SVGs or PNGs and creating their own fabric, and it's Intel hurting the smaller businesses that make fandom fabrics. And I'm seeing a lot of fandom fabrics actually veer away from fandom and creating their own original art for different stuff. Let it be ladybugs, whales, whatever. So that's what made me start thinking about, well, what if I cut things out with my Cameo or my brother's Scan and Cut, and I create my own prints with HTV? And then I was like, what if I create my own prints with sublimation? Because those are going to come out amazing. I don't have a sublimation machine. I do have two friends that do have it, and I've heard both their pros and cons on both of them. It's something that I have been wanting for a while, but again, I don't do splurge buying when it comes down to my company. I usually buy 1 to 2 major things for my company a year, and that's it. And they're write-offs because they're part of my company, but they're also something that I desperately want or want to try. I don't like to buy something that I'm never going to use. I will feel forever guilty with it. So I've been wanting a nice sublimation printer, but I also wanted a better printer for HTV. So we shall see which one I go for, because I need to get a printer that likes me, because right now I hate my printer. Kindle loves it. It prints fast. Like, I had a pattern that had like 65 pages, and like it was done printing in like 3 minutes, but it doesn't print for me. Like, I thought, it's not in my head. Like, I could be on somebody else's computer and it just doesn't print. So I'm looking for something for a little bit easier for me here. Like last year I bought my Rollo for my one of my orders, and I got to tell you, that is like the best investment I've ever had. And now I also found out I can print like Rollo stickers. Of course they're in black and white, but I could put a different color paper, Rollo paper in the background, and I could put like happy order on your box if you order from me. So I'm that was like the best investment. Now, grant you, I've learned about different Rollos that are better than the ones I have since then, but I'm going to keep mine until it breaks. It's a big game changer for me versus in trying to print it out on the printer. I can just print it out, stick it on the box, bag, whatever I have to do, and go. So yeah, I try to do like little investments for myself and the company to help navigate and make the business a little bit easier to manage. Because if I get overwhelmed, it's no good. I wind up having a panic attack. Good morning. No, I at this time I literally buy my HTV paper from other people on Etsy, or different fandom groups. A lot of fandom groups that are creating fabrics now are creating HTVs or sublimations of their prints, and I'll buy them. Like, I'm going to be using uh, a Niffler from Fantastic Beasts in the one I'm going to show you. Or if you've seen the cork bag that I made, the Tuesday tote, that with Jack Skeleton, that's an HTV. So a lot of groups now are having it, and I'm one of those people that I will scroll through Etsy for hours. I love Etsy. And they have this one that is a stitch and it's all rhinestones. Oh my God, I want to get that one so bad. So I'll buy, and I definitely would like to get an HTV printer that I have, but I do use a lot of sublimations that I buy, and then I just put them on. See, my heating press that I bought from Amazon about 4 years ago, there's some serious cold spots. And at first I thought it was just me, but then I would notice that when I would try to adhere interfacing, like the outer edges will be like kind of crispy and the inside would not. You can just like lift it. And so that's what made me start just ironing everything. I don't have an issue with ironing. It's something that I had to do a lot with my grandmother's business. So ironing is like second nature. It gives me time for my mind to wonder and explore. Um, so there's that. But H Ronk did reach out to me, and they actually watched some of my videos, and they heard me expressing that I don't really have a heat press, and they showed me different options that they have in their company, and there was one that I think fits really well with me. That's not exactly a heat press, but is used as a heat press. And once you see it, you'll get a better understanding. I actually think it's better for a lot of sewists because it's mobile. It's not just stuck on one area. So I have used it a lot, and I have literally done like squills of joy and happiness off of it. And I can't wait to break it down and share it with you tomorrow. And then I learned a lot with just different stuff like HTV tape. No one told me about that. When I seen videos of people putting things on bag, like HTVs on bag, I never see, they're just like, oh, press, pill, press, and that you're done. And I'm like, wait, how does your stuff not shift? My interfacing shifts. So like um I've learned a couple of things throughout these past 2 weeks that I didn't know. And I'm really excited to learn some more. And I've ordered some different HTV from Three Bobbins. The Galaxy, the Stormtrooper one, and the um, Jack Skellington one that I've showed on Captain's Log. That was from Three Bobbins. Their HTVs are pretty amazing. The color and the pigments are amazing. And I even washed one and no pilling, no flaking. I was like, holy crud, HTV for Nova. I know I love Fantastic Beasts too. I just have to make sure again with this, I have to make sure that the colors are right because the Fantastic Beasts has like some different there's some different houses, and I want to make sure that I hit everything up right and not have like green or blue or red or for colors that I have a neutral, so most likely it's going to be on it's going to be on some cork that is plain, the original color cork, no colorways. And I think I'm really going to like it that way. And I have some Fantastic Beasts Camelot fabric from a few years ago that I might use for the interior, and I'm kind of excited about that. Good morning. So yeah, if if everything goes well with AwesomeCon, I'm either going to get a HTV print, a better printer for HTV or sublimation, but I'm kind of gearing more towards HTV because the maintenance on the machine is not as much as sublimation, as well as the ink is more cost effective. And I'm really familiar with HTV. I'm not familiar with sublimations. I have got sublimation prints sent to me, and I know how to heat and press them, but I think I would be devastated if I had one press, like one print, and the print was off or smudged because that ink is expensive. Um, so there's that. That's one of my big plans for the next 2 weeks. I'm really excited. There are so many patterns that are about to come out your way, and they're all like uniquely beautiful. And I'm hoping that some will be great, great for you in your life, whether you're a person that makes sews for yourself, gives gifts, or has a small business, or about to start a small business. A lot of these bags are going to be amazing. I'm oh, you're so lucky. Okay. Eventually I'll put a TV in here, but I don't have a TV in here because what happens is if I get hyper focused. When I focus on something else, if I'm doing anything other than that, I mess up. That's why I think I like with me and sewing, I usually listen to Audible, or I'll listen to somebody sew or do a tutorial in the background because it's just like white noise at this point, and it's just soothing. It makes me feel like somebody's in the workroom with me, but I have no TV in here. When I watch people like watch TV when they're sewing, I'm super always jealous because that is not a skill set I have. I want to try sublimation too. But if you what you can do, Mickey, is go on to Etsy or go through Facebook and see if any of the Facebook groups have it. Buy sublimation prints. Like you get it comes with the film and everything, and you can put it on your bag. And most of the sublimation you have to warm up the fabric you're using for 400 degrees. You warm it up for like 10 to 15 seconds. You put the sublimation on it. You put the Teflon sheet, have it on there for 400 degrees. And again, it depends on the manufacturer. It's a warm pill or a cold pill. Um, you do the pill and you set it and you're good to go. If you can't get the printer, like I said, I don't have a special printer for HTV and I don't have a special printer for sublimation. I'm on Etsy all the time buying like the cutest, coolest stuff. And some of these bigger group fabric groups have where you can purchase a print from them from sublimation. Yeah, and it makes pretty cool bags. I'm not gonna lie, I've been getting a lot more people buying my HTV bags because they like the print. And I do my own quality control on certain things. Like if I see a company coming out with and I never bought any HTV from them, I'll buy one or two and then I'll do my test. Like I'll put one on like duck canvas and the other like on cork, and then I will let them set for 24 hours and I'll throw the one in duck canvas in the wash machine to see if there's any pilling or rippling or anything on the HTV. And I do the same thing with the cork. It's not going to go in the wash machine, but I'll put it underneath the sink, let water hit it. I'll like wash it with soap and water with a napkin and see if there's any pilling, puckering, rippling, and I go from there. Yeah. Yeah, most yeah, you can have your own custom fabric for your bag, and that's the way I'm looking at it because there's a lot of different ideas. I have, like I told you, leopard print, Star Wars, like the hope symbol. Like I don't know why I feel like that's going to be so amazing in a bag because it's like your sassy chic with your nerdism is like pretty awesome. So, just different things. Like I was trying to search it last night, but I fell asleep. If there was any like HTV of Little Mermaid, because I want to do something like a really cool bag with iridescence and just have her on it. And they have the animate the cartoon Little Mermaid, but I haven't seen any like drawings of the Little Mermaid that just came out this weekend. So I was looking to see if I can do something really cool, but I haven't found any yet. I know it's coming though because, for example, like if you're in Zorel's group, then you know that I think yesterday or today is the last day you can get a subscription box for the Little Mermaid. It's going to be like four or six different color tapes with seashells and like a purple gem, and it's all nickel. I immediately like was like, I'm buying this because in like I love the Little Mermaid. It was so phenomenal. Like it was so good. I had my reservations because I knew that they were editing a lot of things like music wise and reasons why for certain situations. Like they gave Eric a backstory. And when I really went back and watched the original, he was just like man candy. There was like no reason for him at all. Like he had no purpose. And in the newer movie, he actually has a purpose and it's not bad. I actually like how they did Unfortunate Souls and there was like a twist at it. I'm not going to spoil it. And it actually made more sense in the movie to have this. There was things that they never answered in the first original one, in neither in the sequel or the third one they had out, that was answered relatively quickly in the newer one. And I was really appreciative of it. It was good. I tried to tell, and so many people showed up. I was so happy. And I seen it on Thursday night, and when Part of the World came out, like that part when she's on the rock and she's like, I don't know when, I don't know how, but something's starting right now. Everyone was singing that in the theater. I was like, this is awesome. This only happens during Rocky Horror for me. Like my AMC when they play Rocky Horror the day of Halloween, everyone goes dressed up and everyone like does the time warp and all that stuff like that. It's amazing. It's very interactive, but that's what it felt like to me. We all had 3D glasses on. We all had the laser stuff going on, and we were all seeing it because this is a big impact. When Little Mermaid came out, I was little, like very, very little, and I don't really remember it. I just remember that when I would swim, I would flip my hair like the Little Mermaid. If you didn't do that, I'm just saying, did you watch it? So I knew the music though. I would sing Kiss the Girl or A Part of the World all the time as when I was little. Then when I got older as a teenager, watched it, and then I had some issues with it because like Ariel's like 14. Didn't mind when it was like 6 and 7 though. So she's like 14, and then there was issues, and then there was a huge scandal, and if you remember, there was a huge scandal in Little Mermaid and Aladdin. There was some very explicit content that was happening in the cartoon, and they had to re-edit and remaster it to get those scenes out. Um, so there was always been some controversy over Little Mermaid for a lot of different things. So when they came out with this one, I'm like, how please don't make her 14. They made her 19. So I was perfectly okay with this. Yeah, I flip my hair every time. To this day, my kids don't even like swimming with me because I'll do it. I'll do it every single time. Yeah, there's go to the okay, if you type original Little Mermaid, I'm not going to be explicit because I don't know if there's small children watching, but go into Little Mermaid and put uh uh re-editing or read about when Ursula's about to get married to Prince Eric. There's a certain situation that happens, and at first I didn't believe them until I asked my mom for the VHS. I popped that bad boy in, and I was like, "Holy crap!" Like, there's some inappropriate scenes that is in within it, and there were some inappropriate scenes with Aladdin too, and it's all linked. There's a certain animator that was part of these princess movies, and he was a person that did it. There was a huge thing. They had to remaster it and like edit out, re-edit scenes and re draw cartoon characters. But if you have the original VHSs, which my parents did, my parents were big Disney people. When I popped it in, I could not believe it. I was like, just Google it and you'll be like Shinova. And I'll be like, right. Like, so there was a little bit of scandal. Like, but what's weird is I thought the scandal was going to be her age, and my parents were like, it's a different time. I'm like, she's a merkid. It's, yeah. But I really that was one of my favorite movies. But I think my favorite Disney princess, right, as like I've always like for the newer ones, I like every Disney princess. Like I love Anna and Elsa. Like I love them because they actually have personalities very similar to my children, my two daughters, and I love both of their personalities because they're both strong and whatever. I have so many theories about Frozen 2 though, and when Frozen 3 comes out, I have like 100 theories. Like so my kids are like, it needs to just come out. But I love Moana and I love Merida. Like you have like the fact that she fought for her own hand in marriage, and it wasn't about any man. She just wanted to be happy and be herself. I don't know. I feel like that is a very positive thing for a young person to watch. That this kind of reminds me of The Last Unicorn. One of the reasons why I love that cartoon is because even though she had like a hot prince and she helped save the world, she didn't say, "Oh, I wish to stay as a human to be with the prince." She was like, "Peace out. I'm back to being a unicorn." I was like, "Right." I think one registration is for a kit to be like getting having the hardware and having the wax canvas there, so that way you don't have to worry about anything. And then the other one, if Sandra's watching, she can help fill it in too. The other one is for just the class itself, and you bring your own materials. Yeah, there's some shape issues with the priest. Yes. Oh, okay, so I'm an 80s baby, but I was like a baby in the 80s, but my parents loved 80s movies. So in the 90s, I watched a lot of stuff that was like really relevant in the 80s, and my parents loved The Last Unicorn. My parents also loved Neverending Story. Like it's to the point that whenever I see anything for the Neverending Story as a t-shirt, like I have one of my favorite shirts is ripped though. I need to cut it out in HTV because I know someone has an SVG file. It says never fight, always fight the nothing, and it has the wolf coming out. Um, I the reason I tell everybody I named Kendall Sebastian because of my grandfather, and rightfully so. But I also did it because of Neverending Story because I wanted his name to be Sebastian, so I could be like, Sebastian, say my name. Like, yeah, I named Faith from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Seriously, these kids have no idea. And as much as Hope does not like Star Wars, that's why she's named. Hey, everyone. Okay, one has Friday night. Okay. And one, so the only difference is that one is 225 for only Friday night with no cater lunch and no field trip. 285 is for morning time field trip to Tandy Leather and a cater lunch on Friday. I'm really excited about this. You have no idea. Food, leather, sewing. You're speaking my love language. Oh my goodness. You guys need to go on her website though. Seriously. If you can't go to the event, I totally get it. But go to her website for her clear vinyl. Like if you like HP, you're not going to go wrong. I'm just throwing it out there because you have another sewist that likes HP as much as you, and she has like little workshops with it and stuff. It is the cutest thing ever. I was like, this is amazing. Why did I not know about this? Oh yeah, my flight. I have to look at my flight schedule. I'm like really excited about Tandy Leather. I think those people are going to be like, get her out of there. Cause I'll be like, what is this? I have questions about splicers right now. Cause I seen it, this one leather guy on there and he was like making a wallet and he spliced the, the leather in half, like down the center to make it softer and more pliable. And I'm like, what is this? And I have questions now. You already sold out of the clear Quidditch. I'm telling you, that was cute. I was like, I was like showing people. I was like, do you guys see this? Because now I feel like I have. I'm not 100% on my clear game, but like this is pretty awesome. And I have it going into one of Nicole's wallets right now as the ID, and like so the whole wallet's going to be the just the neutral color tan cork, and the ID window is the Quidditch, and then I'm going to put the magnet of HP, and I like it's like low key HP, like classy. Like I always try to miss classy with sassy. It works out for me. That's on Saturday, right? The field trip. I'm excited about that. I'll be like, field trip. I just, I think with, I think one of my reasons why I was so excited to do this is because where I live, I only know two other sewists that make bags, and they both live not incredibly close. I have two of them, and both of them are bag makers that go to Awesome Con and all the cons I go to. One is in Baltimore, the other one is in the Virginia Maryland mix, but we don't have enough time to like hang out. So I feel like it's important to have these relationships. If you looked at if you are part of So Magical, on So Magical, they showed like a breakdown of what happened during Lauren's sewing weekend. And they had two people that sat by themselves that realized that they lived a mile apart. Can you imagine that? Now you have a so bestie that like literally a mile apart. And that is like a big thing. Like we don't know like who when we go to these things, how close we're to someone where you could build like lifelong friendships. And I think that that's amazing. I know I want to know what we're gonna eat. like, I like food. I mean, I'm down for anything. There's not as long as it doesn't have pineapple or coconut, I'm pretty much okay. And even so, I'll just bring Benadryl. I'll be fine. You'll be like, "Should over your left eye swollen." I am fine. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I gotta see what time I come in. I think my flight is at 9. I think I'm not too sure. I haven't. You have some questions coming left and right, Sandra. Yeah, I think going on the field trip to get stuff is like cool because it gives you an opportunity to be with other people and ask questions. Maybe somebody knows more about something than the other, as well as getting information straight from like employees that work there. I do notice that the Tandy Leather employees are very knowledgeable. Like I'm curious on how their job interviews go because they're super knowledgeable about so many things, and I always like asking them a million questions. See, oh, she has everything at her studio. Her studio, if you haven't seen, if you look at the video that we did together, she kind of does a brief tour over her whole room, um, her whole warehouse. It's pretty like fantastic. Yeah, I'll give you the thing. I think I go. It's not a long flight. Like I believe it's like literally 45 minutes or an hour. So I go up and I go down, basically. I'm actually thrilled about that. It's a little thing. I don't like driving. I don't like driving long periods of time. Like I hate going into DC with a passion because of the traffic. But I think one thing that changed from my California girl to being a Maryland woman is that where I live, everything is super close to me. They built everything where is walkable distance, whether it's a hospital, your doctor's office, schools, malls, grocery stores. Everything is like I have like five beauty supply stores within 2 mile different distance. They have everything super close for a purpose in Columbia that when I look outside of Columbia, I'm like, oh, I don't want to drive there. That's massive studio space. That's awesome. So yeah, that's my plan today is like if I can get if I can get this cut it out and then get it filmed on making it and then do a part two of just edge painting because I do have a video on edge painting, but I just want to show you what it's like to edge paint on like scallops and and go from there. I did, you know, one thing I'm really excited about is Mojo Sews had a pre-order. I think it was either February or March where it's like little clamps and it looks like an octopus arms. Or have you seen Spider-Man, like the octopus guys with the claws? It looks like that and it holds things while you're painting. I cannot wait till that comes in and I already know I should have ordered two and I'm going to probably stock retail like nobody's business because when I edge paint, I usually have clips like this that I use to hold things up like if it's a wallet while it's drying somewhere, or I also like, well, I'm notorious like for letting it like um kind of like balance on a bolt or a screw on a sewing machine. I'm super unconventional if you haven't noticed. And I'm really excited about getting that because I edge paint a lot. I feel like it's a really good skill set to have. And sometimes my edge point painting, I'm like, woo, I'm worth $1 million. Another time I'm like, I'm going to burn this whole house down because this is garbage. So um, it's a good skill. So I figure I should incorporate it into this video because this video I think is cute. I think it could be a keychain, but I'm actually going to want to make one into um, a a lanyard. I think it is genius to have, whether you're a person that goes to a lot of conventions or expos, or just want your card and your ID and everything on you. Like when you're going to through TSA, you could just like pull out your ticket, your ID, and be like, "This is me." Um, or your job. I mean, I had a job that we had to have our ID in front of our chest on a lanyard every single day, and I would inside my lanyard I would stick cash or like a credit card to go to the vending machines, and to have everything in just one location just seems really smart. See, it will be good. It is good to have a sewing bestie, even if you're like, I think this is where you like when you go to sewing retreats. The reason why I always am an advocate for it is because you get to, it's not just that you get to learn new experience. The most you're going to get from there is you're going to have an opportunity to have lifelong friendships. It's one thing to message each other over and over. Sometimes the internet only wants to show you like the good and not the bad. But when you meet someone in person and you build a relationship with them, it could be a lifelong friend. And I think that is super important to have. Yeah, see, I'm going to be doing making the Rosie wallet, and there's two options. There's this one smooth and then they have like a scallop one, and there's two different options to make this, either with edge paint, and if you don't want to edge paint, she has it where you can fold over 1/4 of an inch, and there's one side that has a clear pocket and the other side has a fold over tab that has credit cards. So she has it hooked up to a keychain. I'm going to do the keychain one on one of them, and the other one I'm going to do a lanyard. I'm really excited about it. It doesn't take a lot of material. It comes together really fast, and it is domestic machine friendly, semi-domestic machine friendly, and industrial. So I'm really excited about that because it features two credit card slots, an ID pocket, and there's two different styles for it. And the finishing size is 4 inches by 3.5, 3 and 3/8. So I'm like, that's a perfect lanyard. I wear a lanyard to AwesomeCon when I have conventions or any of my conventions, and it would be cool when my daughters they have lanyards too to switch it out where the it shows their badge, but if they have money to purchase things from other people or gift cards, it can all be close to their chest and they could just pull it off and on to get stuff out of there. I think that is just genius. Oh, you're on a cruise in October? Oh, I love cruises. I absolutely. I like water and like whenever there's a cruise ship, they always have the best seafood and cocktails. Yeah. Food, if you get food into the equation, you totally got me. Like I just want you to know. Yeah, the Rosie Mini wallet. It's new to me. I had no idea who Craftfully Made is, and when I went to her website, she has really interesting patterns. I love like her instructions. They're like in different fonts and different highlights. Okay, hear me out on this. You can get a pattern designer that has all the same font throughout, and then somehow my little ADH brain just will like skim sections, and I'll be like, wait, what is the seam allowance again? You've heard me say this on videos. So when they have different levels and have the breakdown on the abbreviations and what they recommend and the seam allowance is all like highlighted and what they expect, it makes me happy. Like it's intriguing. I know I think she has a video for this. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to be cutting this out. I'm going to cut out two sets, one by SVG through the Cameo, and then the other one I'm going to do by hand so you can see the difference. I'm going to sew one up, and then you're going to see three with edge coat, two with edge coat, no, one with edge coat, two with the fold over method, and then we're going to do it. I think it's a fast, fun wallet. And I think it's, again, I don't know, you're going to a concert, you're going to anything that you have to show an ID. I think this might be a really good thing to have and a good gift to give people. Yeah. I don't, I, okay, honestly, if you guys, if you've seen the movie Inside Out from Disney where they have all the emotions, when I'm about to get on a flight, it is anger, sadness, and anxiety. I think I've conquered a lot of my fears ever since last November. I've been flying alone. Normally I fly with somebody, but because we have kids that are in school and do things, I have to, if I want to go to these things, I have to go by myself. So it's either drive or fly. And I will overcome my fear because I like time. Time is something that we all try to control and we don't have any control of. So I don't like spending hours in the car. It's just that something I just don't. I can't. I've never been like that. Like my parents will tell you, Shinobu's always hated road trips. So I hop onto the planes and I go and I listen to some. I listen. I listen to like Disney audibles, like Once Upon a Wish, or like they're like the Disney Tales with a twist. I'll listen to those while I'm in the air and fly down. I haven't had really bad flying experience. I mean, when I came back from Florida, there was a lot of turbulence because we were flying through a storm, but it wasn't like where trays were popping out and drinks were. It just more like, okay, I'm just gonna hold my breath until it ends. And so I like to fly in and out and get there as quick as I can. I think eventually I would like to do I don't know if Kayla does more so magicals up in the East Coast with Gaylord. I would travel with some people that want to go to the Gaylord in New York or Florida or Pennsylvania because it's not that far of a travel. It's not that far to go to North Carolina either. It's just easier for me to fly. I know Craftily made. I first of all, I like her name. That is super clever. I'm liking this pattern, and I'm excited about doing some edge coating because it's not like a whole bunch. And I think what I'm going to do is I have the primary colors um, from Mojo Sews, and I'm going to probably show you how I mix paint color theory real quickly to get ideal color. I do that all the time. I have like this like PVC board that it has tons of different colors on it, and I just start mixing. Yeah. I mean, I think it's so even having there's people that I know that have like go to the Bra Fairy sewing retreats, and their one will be in UK and the other person lives in the US, and they meet every year to go to this retreat so they can spend time together and also learn how to do different kinds of bras. And I think that is cool too. Um I want to see I always wanted to go on a kittenish behavior. She's in the UK. Her name is Sean. She shows how to make dresses and some bags, and she's notoriously known for having the modification. She's the person that created the modification with the double zipper pocket for the NCW. She has like one or two retreats a year, and it's in like this big elaborate place, and you get to wear dresses and stuff. I want to go to hers so bad. I also want to go to Sewing Patterns with Mrs. H. That's also in the UK. The places that they have their retreats are amazing. Um, I say like I don't know. The one thing that I learned from COVID is like not to take things lightly. And if you want to try something new, go for it, you know? So I'm hoping that next year I'll be able to do one of those retreats in the UK somewhere. And I definitely, I do want to go to, right now there's a retreat going on this weekend in Texas. Wizardly Stitchery. I definitely want to do that. Like I said, I think it's really cool because they give me total camp fills. I was really excited with Sewing Room Gardener. I've been watching her feed, and she has all these different little retreats or like sewing classes. And I'm like, this is what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be like coming together and sewing and having fun. Yeah, no longer than 6 hours I can do. So there's a Canadian, there's one in Canada. I'm highly thinking about doing no longer than 6 hours I could do. And the thing is that I don't have a problem going to a retreat as long it's not in the middle of summer. I am the worst in heat. Like I'm going to let you know right now, if I went to Tennessee So Magical, I'd probably stay in the hotel like the whole time. You'd be like, "Show, let's go to the food trucks." I am not. I am in heat. As soon as I'm in sun, I get breakout and like this chicken skin texture all over my body, and I just want to rub myself on carpet. Like I'm dying from like scratching myself. I think I'm allergic to the sun, but there's no proof of it yet. Like I went out for to get some teal color yesterday, and I was out in the sun for just a minute, and I had like a heat rash all over my arm, and I'm like spraying all this stuff because it was my driving arm outside of the car door. And Kendall's like, well, damn. I was, as long as it's not in the middle of the summer, I'm pretty good. No way. They have a water park? What? I love the water. I could do my little mermaid here. Yes, my son has it too, but he before he goes to any scrimmages, he like SPF 1000 up, and it helps tremendously. But yesterday I was just in the car, kid you not, no more than 20 minutes. And I know I'm not the only one. When I'm driving, I have my right hand on the left hand of the steering wheel, and I have my arm out. I have my elbow out. It was like 72 degrees yesterday. It was absolutely phenomenal and beautiful. And this whole area feels like chicken skin. And I was so miserable yesterday with it. I was like, I'm going to rip off my arm. And kid was like, it's not that bad. And he looked at it, he was like, maybe we need to take you back to the allergist. 70, 80 degrees is perfect. Yesterday's temperature was absolutely like, I was like, if summers were this, I would love summers. Girl, yeah, I would fly into Vegas from California every other weekend, and I would just stay in the hotels. I would just stay. I would be like, because there was one time my friends were taking us to Vegas. It was during a bachelor party. We got these large drinks on the street and we were drinking them. And because the heat plus the alcohol, like, I don't remember like 60% of what happened that day. I'm just gonna it's not a good thing. But I do love Vegas. That was my favorite place to go in California. I would go at least twice a month. Yeah, the heat is brutal, but like Arizona's heat to me is brutal. Like when I lived in Phoenix and Scottsdale, so I wasn't ready. And they kept saying I thought I was ready because I lived in the Inland Empire in California and the IE gets hot in the summer. It's not because it's not near any oceans, it gets hot. And then on top of it, if it gets really hot and that the Santa Ana winds kick in, oh my God, this is why fire season is real out in California. Because that those Santa Ana winds with plus heat is not a good combo. Um, so I would fly to Vegas and I would stay at a hotel and just get like drinking and playing slot machines and watching shows. Because like I got to see Prince there, I got to see Cher there, I got to see Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears. Like Vegas is the place to be if you like the music. I love Vegas too. I do. It's just that heat is real. I hate it going there from June through October. So, but it's worth it if you stay in the hotels. So, yeah, I don't know. Oh my God, anything where the Joshua tree is, like, it's hot. It's hot. But all the best spas in the world in California are in that desert area. Like the best spas. Like there's just so many great spas out there. And yes, you stay in the hotel. That's a cardinal rule until it's like you can deal with the heat. The only thing that throws me off, and I didn't know was an issue until I moved here. Okay, so if it's 90 degrees in Maryland, right? When the sun goes down, the temperature goes down with it. So I'm used to like, okay, it's 50 degrees at night in the summer. And it's like cool. You hear the cicadas and you're just like, yeah, right? Vegas and California does not have that. Like if it's like 117 and then it goes night, it doesn't like go down to 80. It's still like I wasn't I didn't know it was an issue until I went to travel back to visit family and friends. I was like, "Oh yeah, no, I can't do this." See? Then you guys all know we all know, but Vegas is fun to go. Like every bachelor party I've ever went to in Vegas has been phenomenal. Yes. Oh yeah, there's so many. Glen Ivy's in California is my favorite spa place ever, ever because they have the hot water springs. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, I will go to a Vegas retreat in a heartbeat. I if there was a Vegas retreat, I would be like, yeah, let's go. I love Vegas. I think it's the food you always get really good food for really good. They have like the best buffets. Oh my god. I and like my favorite thing to do is I eat at the Pink Flamingo for breakfast. They have the best breakfast ever. Like I don't care what anyone says. I will go to Pink Flamingo by myself. They have the best breakfast ever. So, I go and I enjoy the hotels. I enjoy going to the Coca-Cola factory, the M&M factory. And as long as I'm like going hotel to hotel and I'm not outside for large quantities, I'm fine. But that outside from AC temperature is real. Like you'll be like, wait, hold on, I'm dying. Yeah, but I don't know. I like the whole West Coast. I lived in Seattle for a while. I lived in Colorado for a while. I lived in Arizona, but I was born and raised in California. Yeah, I hope someone brings something there too. I would definitely go. I know that Suicide has one in California, and then there's a lot of vendors that are going. You have Zorel that's going. I believe So Girly Fun is going to be there. So look into that one because it's not that far. Suicide, I think, is in Oceanside, and so it's. I mean, it's a drive for you because it's probably going to be a 4 or 5 hour drive, but it's not that. It's not that far. It'll in Oceanside, hotels are going to cost significantly less than any other else because it's not really a touristy spot. It's more of a military spot. Okay. Oh, no, we don't know anyone that has one, which is really weird not to have us. Because like Vegas is like the capital of expos. There is so many expos that go there. There was a expo that I went to not too long ago where it was a all female people that created it, and all the expos like was around female superheroines. That was the best expo I've ever went to ever. Like ever. So they had everything was showcased from female animators to artists to bag makers like myself to like it was pretty amazing. Yeah, you Uber everything. Happy Friday, Lynette. Yeah, so aside. I know it sounds weird. When I first seen it on her car, I was like, why does she have that? But then she lives in Oceanside. So aside. Yeah, there's one in California. It's pretty big. I think it's happening next month or in July. But yeah, she has different ones too. They just had a cruise that ported from Oceanside too. I told her the only reason why I haven't went to that one because if I step foot in California and don't see my mother, my sister, and my bazillion cousins and aunts and uncles, I will pay a price heavily, heavily. so so aside, yeah. Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up. I did. It's a unusual name. Let's see. Yeah, she's in Oceanside. Let me get the website for you. Yeah, so looking at her thing, it's June 22nd to through June 23rd. 25th, I'm sorry. Here you go. She goes to I met her at So Magical, Florida, and in Texas. She's actually in Texas right now at the Wizardly Stitcherly one. She is like goals. She goes to almost all these beautiful sewing retreats all across the country. So yes, they look like they'll be fun. I got to do, me and her did a so long together. It was so much fun. She is a really fun person. She also wears she will get you to wear a tiara. I have a tiara, but it's heavy because it goes to my red queen. And yeah, it also likes to rip out my hair. We have a complicated relationship. But she's really you probably seen her if you're on Facebook or on Instagram. She's usually wearing some kind of tiara. She has bright blue hair and she's just an amazing person. That's the hard part. Like trying to figure out what like my goal for the end of the year is I want to go do 3 retreats. I want to do one that's out of country. I want to do one retreat that doesn't have anything to do with bags whatsoever. So I would love to go to the bra fairy and learn how to make bras. I've always want to do that, but there's also a retreat in Florida to learn how to make your own denim jeans. Like I want to do one thing that I don't know how to do so that way I can start doing it, as well as I want to go to I just want to have fun and go to retreats. Yes. Bright blue hair, you can't miss her. She's amazing. And she's a really patient teacher, very patient. So I am going to hop off, grab some coffee, stuff my face, and start working. And hopefully, I'm filming before the day's out. And I hope everyone has a really good Memorial Day. And I hope if you're able to get some barbecue food in, you can. And however you honor people who served our country that are no longer with us, just take a moment. Sometimes that's all we need to do. And I'll see you tomorrow. And hopefully, I'll have an update and I can show you the bags that I'm done completed. So I'll talk to everybody. If you have questions in reference to the sewing retreat that's going on starting Friday, definitely reach out to me or Sandra and we can try to answer questions. Okay. Everyone have a great day. Happy sewing. Bye.